I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call meeting to order. Motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda with flexibility and add an executive session with personnel and Joan Donovan's claim.
Okay. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. We have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Yeah. Approve April 3rd meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve the April 3rd minutes.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Public comment. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, a couple months ago now, I made a comment about access on the north door for mobility impaired individuals. Since then, the boogeyman showed up, and I'm hearing rumors somebody might want to put handicapped access on the east side of the building. Might I ask that you look at that a little more deeply, because new construction, you're going to get nailed on ADA compliance, I think, out there. For example, if you have stairs that may need to be blocked off so a wheelchair doesn't go down over. New construction, you may end up putting in the high dollar doors, you know, the push button.
I figured that's probably gonna happen no matter what. The push button doors. I mean, it doesn't do any good to have a handicap.
Oh, I totally agree with your thought there. Do you have the budget you want to go that to right now, is what you come down to?
That whole deal is pretty, it's expensive. I was told the state might have some funds for us on something like that. And I want to see if we can do it out of aluminum instead of concrete, because I think it would be cheaper.
Would,
And we'll have to go from go along the whole east.
yeah, really from the sidewalk up by
Yeah.
State Street, okay. Would the aluminum handle the chemical in the winter? The de-ice products?
I'd have to just look into stuff like that. I mean,
Okay, I just wanted to bring that up. Trying to find a way to save you guys a few bucks. Thank you.
because this whole deal was gonna be like, his estimate was, I forgot to bring it, it's like, it was over 50,000 to do the concrete work so far. Yeah,
That's without the door.
right, and that's not helping run the handicap up this way.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Yep.
I may have some questions during public comment. I was wondering if I could reserve a little time, or not during public comment, but during old and new business. Wondering if I could ask some questions during that time.
Sure.
Thank you.
Anything else? Moving on. Meals on Wheels, senior citizens, George Larson.
Good morning, still morning.
Yeah.
Still morning, been up a long time. Just here to revisit the Meals on Wheels in Bennett County. Visiting that, of the 25,000 meals we're currently serving to Bennett County to try and see about getting us through the end of the year. We did get notification from the state that we'll be getting a 20 cent a meal increase in our rate already, and we're going to be meeting on Thursday with the other state directors across the two CMU nutrition programs that we're going to be doing a campaign, getting a lobbyist to actually try and increase our meal reimbursement rate. We're going to be asking for $9.01 a meal versus right now we're doing $5.23 a meal, which would be pretty darn close to letting us break even across the area with what we're at. We're hoping to get $2 a meal. Honestly, I don't know if we can get the full $3.80, whatever that is a meal, but we're hoping to at least bring that up on the agenda and have through the summer talking sessions, things like that. we still have to get through this summer and whatever this until we get to the next funding cycle at the point. But we do have about $5,000 additional will be coming to the county because of the increase. We'll be starting June 1st, with that 20 cents a meal. But for the next fiscal year, we do look to expect to have about $5,000 additional coming, which will help us a little bit. It's not that 90,000, but it's getting closer one chunk at a time. And we hope to have the state and maybe the feds. The feds are a harder thing to crack, but I think for the state, we should have some luck at least getting some increase as well. We do bring in about $250,000 into Bennett County every year between food purchases, gas purchases, employee payroll, things like that. So it's a pretty good investment for Bennett County, as well as the human side of making sure our seniors are taken care of. I know we've lost our senior, our nursing homes, so there really isn't any place for them to go if they don't have additional options. So happy to answer any questions you have, see what kind of things we have. We are asking for the $20,000.
The city did 5, right?
So far, I understand we're going to be having another person come to the city council soon, not that they could vote for it, but we're going to be hopefully getting more from them. And I'm still waiting to hear back from the tribe as far as what their additional will be able to do through the rest of the year.
I don't have a problem doing 5 with Match City.
I'll make a motion that we donate $5,000 to Meals on Wheels,
Thank you.
and we'll do any support on legislation,
First, thank you.
so just let us know.
I will definitely do that.
And we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second, all in favor, signal by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Deputy auditor position, highway secretary, must less full-time, effective date 4/10/24, 15.50 hourly.
1650 is what she's been making. She's been working with me since the 10th. Basically, it's just moving her from, the full part-time up to full-time, and I would like to just split the hours 50-50 between auditor and highway.
I'll make a motion to accept deputy auditor for Melissa Lesser, full-time, half auditor, half highway department, $16.50 an hour, effective date 4/10.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Started.
Second, all in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Coroner resignation. Appears that our coroner is resigning.
I'll make a motion to accept resignation.
Linnell Laverick. I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second, all in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Cash transfer.
We
Road
probably
and bridge.
need to decide on how we're going to replace the coroner.
Try to put it on the next agenda.
I don't know whether you want to advertise.
So,
Who's the deputy? Have you got deputy coroners?
well, we did at one point, I don't know if there's still.
Because Jason Busman was gone.
Yeah, and then, there was a couple other ones, I don't know if they're even still around here, a couple other people from like the hospital up there.
Linnell might have some ideas.
Yeah, I can get in touch with her and,
It's an elected position.
Yeah.
If you want it.
so then in the meantime, does the sheriff serve as coroner, or?
I believe so, if we don't have somebody within 30 days.
I'll
I
call her
think we have
and
30
see
days to,
if she's got anybody in mind.
Don't put on the agenda for a month from now.
well, be next meeting and that way.
Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry.
Okay. Good then.
Yeah.
Cash transfer transfer road bridge fund, 911 service, 24/7 sobriety fund, library cash,
Library.
library.
So if you look at this sheet here, those are showing our negative balances. Currently, the highway fund is 137,827.84 in the negative. I believe the remaining budget for them is 679,154.80. So
This from last year.
no, this is what it's currently at right now, what is in the fund. So the fund is what basically supports the budget. So, I mean, by the end of the year, once that 600 and some thousand is expended, I mean, I guess in my opinion, I think you should probably transfer enough to support that budget for the rest of the year. I don't really know of any really big checks that we'll be getting from the state. Did we already get STP funds for the year? We
I
didn't.
don't think so.
Okay, so, and that's usually around 100 million. I think it's 190,000.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
Well, you have license plate money
That'll come in quarterly.
quarterly.
So I guess we just need to decide how much we want to put in each fund. And it will be coming from general fund cash.
There's 51,000 budgeted.
And I did talk to Al, and he said if we go over budget on that, that it does not affect the audit. So,
Which one did you say on that?
Excuse me?
Which one did you say? The number one?
No, we have 51,000 that we budgeted to transfer.
Oh, right. What's the quarterly checks for license plates? What's the quarterly checks for license plates? Just give me a ballpark.
Probably around 80
Quarterly?
for 54%.
Oh, 7.
Well, we've estimated 635,000 in revenue for the year.
for that fund.
Yeah.
And the STP is probably 190,000. License plates, 331,000 a year. Are they within budget right now?
Yes. Are you talking about the highway fund?
Highway department expenditure budget, are they within? Because what's April? What percentage is April? they're right on budget.
Yeah.
Because they're at 35%. So they're on budget.
Nice.
I'm thinking maybe 400,000 with the revenue budget. That gets this out. And we see how it goes later on.
Right.
If it's too much, doesn't matter. It's gonna cost the account.
And then for the 911 service fund, we do get some money from the state for, I think they pay $1.20 per line. It really depends on how many, how many calls, how many lines come in there.
Has the city paid their share? Because they pay half.
I don't know. I know that the previous auditor had sent them a bill. I don't know if it ever got, I don't think we've got any money from them yet. So I need to get a hold of them and see what the holdup is on that. And then I'll have to send them a bill for that last one that we paid. So I would think that if we did 10,000 for that for now, after we get the money from the city, that should, and then we'll continue to get money from the state throughout the year. And
Then I would think 10,000 out of the transfer budget.
Yeah.
And that leaves 31,000 in the budget.
And then the emergency and disaster, they reimburse us for half of Jeff's wages out of that. We need to send in another quarterly report, and we should have one come in. I think it's been a while since we've got one. I think 20,000 for now on that one, because we should have some money coming in here shortly, and then that should get us through the year. And 24/7. I would say probably, I don't know. That's a hard one too.
Thought that was,
So they get money coming in for PBTs and UAs.
thought that was kind of self.
It used to be, but with wages and stuff, what they are now, that, it used to be back when we paid people $9.25 an hour to work back there, but nobody works for that anymore.
Depends on their collections too,
Mhm.
how well their collections.
Yeah.
Just 12,000 just from January to now. Or March.
Well, not necessarily, no. I mean, there was a negative balance in there last year. The funds don't really change until we put money in it, until they have money put into it. 2020 is good.
In their budget right now, they've only, oh, this is period one. I got the wrong.
Is that period one?
Oh, I might have picked up.
Yeah, we were up here.
Oh, no, this is wrong.
I'm looking at it. I thought
It's
it
period
was-
three.
Oh, I must have typed in the wrong number. Do you want me to go get it?
No.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah.
What'd you think, 15,000?
Or for 24/7, no, I was thinking 20. And then law library, it's only negative 81, 83.
There should be money coming into
There
that.
should be.
It should be.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to just do, maybe 500 or something for now, for that one. And then
I'd rather do 100, because
100.
there should be money coming into that.
Where does that money come from?
Clerk of courts collects money on certain, it's broke down on what she gives. Are you ready?
You go for it.
Okay, I make a motion to transfer 20,000 to 24/7, 20,000 to emergency and disaster, 10,000 to 911, $100 from the library. Those will be budgeted items from the transfer budget. And leave us $900. And 400,000 from the general fund to the highway department.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second, all in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
He's not.
We're gonna skip around a little bit. We got
Yeah.
opposed here in 5. Second meeting in May, date and time.
Okay, so that would be on the 15th. I have to be gone for a workshop, and there's some election training going on during that I really need to go to. That would be the meeting that we would open the bids that you're gonna do for highway department. So I don't know if we wanna move it to a different day. I'll be gone the 15th and 16th.
Want to just move a week ahead? Get to my second?
Well, the only bad thing about that is then we're gonna have to do claims. That doesn't really, so I don't know if you wanna do that Friday maybe? If you wanna do it on a Friday or do it a week later.
How about 13th on Monday?
But you could do it that week later and still make sense, because you got a meeting again next Wednesday, the 1st of the month. And then if you just waited and went to the 22nd, we're still good with claims. Because the month starts on the 1st of the month. So, and then you wouldn't have, you do it the 1st and the 22nd, you're still within our timeline for our claims as far as our check dates and whatnot. Except for maybe the city and the school.
Which you're allowed to write those,
Right,
because those are mandated.
Right,
right, but rather than to,
yeah.
So you just wanna move the meeting to the 22nd?
That works for me, if that works for you guys.
Motion to move the meeting, May 15th meeting to May 22nd.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second, all in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Sounds so enthused over there. Yeah. You sound so enthused over there.
Do what?
You sound so enthused.
Claims real quick.
Because I wanna discuss that a little
Yeah.
bit, do I do Jolene's?
Yeah.
No. Let's just do it in the recess.
Okay, we got no
Going to
speaking.
DOE. Is that all right with you guys?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm serious.
5 minute recess.
We'll go to DOE.
You're gonna have to recess anyway.
Make motion.
Motion to recess for 5 minutes. We'll go to DOE.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We are now in recess.
Oh, you want one?
That's
That's all I want.
Boy, that wind's blowing. Cows don't even get a chance to look them calves off.
That's the way to do it, put in a claim, go to work, and take it.
I'm going for it.
Bypass the airline.
So, why is there a streak here?
No, I got Wayne's GPS.
Oh,
It's not on the steer, but it's a lot better than what
I'm good, how are you?
you can remember back in high school.
It's
When I
gonna
was spray weed,
He's good. It's good.
Full markers.
To share
That's
some
one
mention last week.
People with a flag.
Got
Oh,
to
shit.
rub elbows with all
Guess who came?
the guys.
you did.
Yeah.
And remember why he.
You know, if you can, you know, be done during the session.
When I worked for Dover, we had full markers, pickup spray. It was hot.
So how do your grapes do? Are they, is this like a good year for them?
It's hard to tell until you get in.
Are they like starting?
Actually, no, yeah, it
It's
was
just like, oh,
Yeah, I'm just getting in.
Mary told me he has one, he don't like it.
Folder upstairs?
He's fine.
Yeah, I don't know, everything in life should be in open session.
You know, I'm just.
Yeah,
Wanna go
just
into
get-
detail?
I
I
don't-
don't know, Jeremy's against.
You-
yeah, it's super
See,
simple.
and mine's ready to go and
Suction cup on the deal, you plug it in, go. You got the antenna on, but yeah. And you just do an AV line.
Maybe your grapes are smaller. Well, and two nights in a row,
It wasn't a, it ain't even a dome thing, it's kind of like Sirius XM antenna.
Always been that stuff.
Yeah, it's silicone in it.
Okay.
I can do that.
Sickle. Put it on the
Where you
road.
been hiding, Donna?
I have been going to school and getting my criminal justice degree, and I just finished my associates. I'm working on my bachelor's. I live in Piedmont now, and I come back to work at the nonprofit 2 days a week.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in
Work
3
from
years, so.
home. Yep, I'm a busy girl.
No, you just recess it.
Just got our grant writer. We got awarded 2 federal grants. One runs the domestic violence shelter. Yes, we are still open. We never
Well, it's
closed.
up to you.
Well,
because-
I mean.
And then we
What
have
we used to do is
a
just recess.
DOJ grant for victim services, and we're doing an internship for victim service. We're gonna turn young people into victim service advocates and domestic violence advocates. Just went to San Diego, we were down in Kentucky, we go to DC in June. Got a lot of financial management training. Been a busy girl.
How long you in town?
You know, I came in last night and I found out I ruffled some feathers just pulling into town, so I think I'm gonna stay a while. I think I'll stay a while. Yeah,
You get attacked the other day?
apparently I did. I got the shit kicked out of me on my own patio by a bunch of mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah.
I fought like hell though.
Way down swinging.
But I tell you what, I was swinging and swinging and swinging, and I killed 3 of them, and 2 of them I knocked on the ground and stepped on them.
there. Mosquitoes?
Not
Mhm.
Where were you?
Piedmont, South Dakota.
Oh.
Further down.
It's a mess.
I would have thought they got
Maybe
froze and dumped on snow.
No, it's been nice. It was like the day it was, I don't know, 80 degrees up there.
Last I remember you walking.
Yeah, got attacked by mosquitoes and, no, it's been good. I kind of miss it here, and then I come here and then I hear everything, and I'm glad I get to leave. But I watch everything on your page and everybody from back home's page, and we're doing a walk this Saturday. If we don't get rained out, we're gonna do our sexual assault awareness walk.
What time?
We're starting at 1.
We're at.
We're starting at Wild Horse Butte. We're gonna go down Main Street, and then we're gonna barbecue at the park.
Good, how are you?
And we have our huge 4-directional MMIP, MMIW walk in June. We got a bunch of exciting stuff coming in.
Okay. Let's call the meeting to order. Board of Equalization meeting. Need to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve agenda.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Sorry, Tim, I didn't realize you stepped out. Approve April 9th meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve the April 9th meeting minutes for the DOE.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Appeal.
Sure. I just have one to talk about. We had an appeal from Gene Konotopka. They have on their, they're being assessed for a mobile home that's not there anymore. She says it's been gone for 4 or 5 years. I don't know how long it's been gone. But anyway, the appeal is to up the taxes payable next year to take away the mobile home value, which is $18,833.
I'm sorry, Jeff, who was that?
Gene Konotopka. And it's gone. It's been gone for a long time.
Yeah, I can vouch for it. It's been.
So today we need to vote to remove that. The other thing is, I don't know if since it's been gone for several years, do you know how long it's been gone, Bill? 4 or 5?
At least 3.
Okay. They could file for an abatement since it wasn't there. I don't know if they'll do that or not. I told Latasha yesterday that was something different. So anyway, I don't know what to do with that, but short term, we just need to deal with the appeal, remove the value of that mobile home.
I make a motion to remove the mobile home from Gene Konotopka's tax.
Second. Motion. We have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Joyce Rissy appealed on the parcel that's right out there on the old highway by Dead Man's Lake. They did appeal on both the building values and the land. I went out, the building values, for the most part, I feel are more than fair. The only one is there is a little bit of a value on the house that's out there. It's $2,663, and the house is completely unlivable. Roof, ceiling, everything falling in, floor falling in. So I think we need to remove that $2,663 for the house and leave the remaining buildings at the current value. And then as far as the land goes, they did have 74 acres of crop soils there, which are mostly right around where the buildings, corrals, driveways, all of that is at. And a lot of it is KRB as well, which we've been given the adjustments for KRB. So I would recommend dropping those 74 acres down to the non-crop value, which would make an adjustment of $50,144.04, along with the house removal. So the total adjustment on that parcel would be $52,807.04. The current total is $148,383.42. This would bring the new value down to $95,576.38.
I'll make a motion to accept the new values.
I'll
For
second.
Joyce.
We have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
And then the other one was for, it's actually owned by Dean O'Neill. Rick was the one that filed the appeal. It's one of the houses that the city tore down last summer. He did say that he thinks that the land value should only be $5,000, which is currently at $8,467. And compared with other empty lots around town, what we have assessed, it's $1.06 per square foot, which is pretty average. I'm okay with leaving the land value the way it is, but there's $20,867 value on the house that is no longer there that we need to remove. So that would bring it from $29,334 down to $8,467.
That's inside the city.
It was a lady. So,
So it's lower the value of the
I'm just removing the value of the house,
of the
is all,
house.
and leaving the land where it's at.
I'll make a motion to accept the adjustment.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second, all in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, and that's all we have for appeals.
Only assessment freeze.
So that should be the spreadsheet.
this one,
And,
I don't care.
go ahead, that way I can write.
Okay, it's a freeze for the elderly and disabled. For the elderly, they have to be over 65. There are some income guidelines for this, and what it does is it freezes the assessed value. So the property value doesn't go up, so in theory, their taxes stay pretty close to the same. So because it's based on some medical things, some of it, you can't see the names that are involved. So you can see on the spreadsheet, this is the frozen value, parcel ID number. This is what it is, the current market is. And so column A and column C show you what's going to be assessed, and column C is what it would be if it wasn't in this program. Jolene, how many people did you have apply this year?
I sent out 12 applications. Once they apply, I just send them a letter every year with the application, everything in it. So I sent out 12. 2 did not turn in, 7 qualified, and 3 that did not. because of the income brackets.
So I don't think you guys need to take any action on this because it's still going to program. This is just like an FYI for you guys.
Public comment?
Nobody skipped one.
So most of them were approved at the last meeting. There was a question on Wild Horse Butte, whether or not it should still be tax exempt. I believe we have some people here that would like to speak on that.
Could I clarify one thing before? So this is only, their application is only to make what was daycare over north of the grade school? That's the only piece of property that's on this application. They also own the women's shelter out by Sunrise. Who owns that?
That is owned by the Oglala Sioux Lakota Housing Authority.
Okay, all right. So we're only talking about the parcel that's over there. So,
You're up.
Okay. So for those of you that don't know me, Donald Lamont, born and raised, homegrown potato, moved away. Wild Horse Butte is a nonprofit. The office is used as an office. We do have our CEO staying there because of some incidences that have happened. We've had threats made of burning the place down, breaking into it. So for security purposes and other reasons, we do have our CEO staying there right now. We did buy some security cameras that came in yesterday, and we programmed them last night, and hopefully we'll have them put up this week or next week. But I guess there was a question of, is it used as an office? Yes, it is used as an office. Are we a nonprofit? Yes. Are we still in good standings? Yes.
are you 501c3?
We are 501c3.
So it's not really going to be a permanent residence for your CEO, he's just there for security.
Mhm.
Should give you a little background. Anyway, we purchased the building Wild Horse Butte did from Lake Creek District for $1 in 2000, I think it was 13, something like that. So Wild Horse Butte owns the property. Well, anyway, we had a CEO then. It was Ken Clausen, I'll say her name. And she kind of walked off the job 3 years ago. I talked to her like 3 times trying to get her to stay, but she wouldn't do it. But ever since then, we've been attacked by her through many ways. Through the tribe, we're not affiliated with the tribe at all. And before she left, well, right after we got the clinic for the IHS clinic, she had that change where we were not under the tribe at all. We were under the state. We're state 501c3.
I think some people think that because we're all enrolled members and because we have all been in and out of elected officials with the district, that Wild Horse Butte is a tribal program or affiliated with a tribe. We are not. We are a state nonprofit. We're not chartered by Lake Creek District. We are not chartered under OST. We are not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. And we're gonna stay that way.
But the fact that you're 501c3, doesn't that automatically make you exempt?
Yes, we are tax exempt everywhere else.
So I'll make a motion to exempt, whatever, Wild Horse Butte. Really?
Yeah, Wild Horse Butte
Wild Horse
Community
Butte
Development
Community Corporation.
Second.
We have a motion, and we have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carried.
Thank you guys,
Thank you guys,
and
yeah.
you guys will be, thank your state's attorney, your sheriff's department we are doing a collaborative work with them. We have a referral process going with them for our shelter ladies. They have been awesome. Thank them every time you see them because they faithfully come to all of our meetings.
We have a
They
meeting once a
respond
month.
to all of the 2 federal grants that we got are 2 3-year grants. And we have more grants. We found an excellent grant writer, and We have more that, we're gonna bring as much services as we can to the community, and that's what Wild Horse Butte's about.
And the walk we're having this weekend, weather permitting, is open to everybody.
Everything at Wild Horse Butte is open to
Open to
everybody.
everybody. We don't discriminate against anybody. Whoever wants to come,
Is
like
welcome.
today we have NAHA donations.
Everybody's
coming.
welcome to come to the donation program. We have a diaper program. We have the shelter, of course. Everything that we offer, because and this is before we even got the money, everything we do is for everybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how old, what race, that doesn't matter to us. It's there for a reason. We do the work for a reason, and that's to help the people in the community, no matter who it is.
Yeah.
Do you have any connection with the lady shelter at Sunrise? Do you have any, nothing, no connection?
We have nothing to do with anything, if it has OST in front of it, we're not affiliated.
Yeah.
We have been working with the shelter, the White Buffalo Calf Society shelter in Rosebud, the Sacred Heart in Eagle Butte, the one in Belfouche. We have been collaborating with all these other shelters. We're technically an emergency shelter. We're not a long-term shelter. So they come to us for 45 days, and in those 45 days, we establish what their long-term plan is. Do they want to go to a long-term shelter? If they do, we will take them there. If they want to get their own place, we help them transition into their own home. If they want to go live with family somewhere, we do that. And we do all the transporting. So the thing with the deputies is, if they refer someone to us, they don't have to bring them to us. Our ladies will come and get them so that they can free up their time to answer calls. They don't have to sit and wait for family or whatever. We want to get the officers back on and get them on the next call. So our ladies will go directly to the officers and they will transport. And from there, we work with them for 45 days.
And after 45 days, we don't just kick them out.
And we started it new, so it's not just a domestic violence shelter. We do domestic violence, sexual assault, teen dating violence, and stalking.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank you,
guys.
guys. Good to see all of you, by the way.
You do.
Long time no see. I'm gonna go ruffle some feathers. Good at it. I am.
Public comment. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I have a motion. I have a second? I have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting is now adjourned. We can come out of recess. Out of recess at 10:20. Highway Department. 2024 bid letter.
So we need to redo the bids for the year. Last year you did gravel hauling, gravel purchasing, culvert removal and replacement, snow removal, and blading and road maintenance. We'll need to put the notice out. It has to run for at least 2 weeks. And then do the, open the sealed bids.
I wanna change some things on
Okay.
there.
Right.
I wanna have, horsepower on some of this equipment.
Okay.
Capacity.
Yardage.
So in order, if we do this at the second meeting in May,
Which is the 22nd.
which is the 22nd, I will have to get this out to the booster by next week. So you guys will have to let me know exactly what you want on this notice. And then I believe I sent you guys the bid sheets, that we have for people. If there's any changes that you want to those, then,
It's raining on Friday, maybe I can slip in.
okay. All right, but you guys do need to make the motion to go ahead and put out the bid letting and, start advertising for that. And, and then set the date and time to be opened at the May 22nd meeting. We got May 22nd. Do you wanna do them right at 9:30 or 10 o'clock?
They have up to 9:30.
No, they have to be in by 10
Oh, by
o'clock.
10
Yeah,
o'clock.
they
Okay.
can come in here at 10 o'clock and.
And when we say we're gonna start doing, then they can throw it right,
Okay.
put it down.
Just want to clarify that. Okay, I'll make a motion to put out the 2024 bid letting. And then we will open bids on May 22nd at 10 o'clock. They have to, 10 o'clock, May 22nd, to get their bids in. Just want to clarify that.
Okay, and you wanna keep it the same, gravel hauling, purchasing,
Yes.
culverts, snow, and blading and roof maintenance.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. There, gravel pit.
Okay, so Belvin was planning on being here, he called me just this morning and said he's not gonna be able to make it. Basically, all he wants to know, right now, the mining permit is in the county's name, and wants to find out if he can have that changed to his name rather than the county.
I think we still have gravel we're supposed to pull out of there yet.
9 loads,
Is it 9 loads?
I think. Can't remember. I think we're supposed to test trial 10 loads.
Well, let's see what that gravel road will look like, to be honest with you.
Let's, let's table that to next meeting.
Okay.
Keep in mind, the next meeting is next Wednesday.
May 22nd meeting.
Okay. Table it till May 22nd meeting.
Okay. Executive session, personnel.
I'll make a motion for executive session for personnel SDCL 1-25-2, parentheses 1, Commissioners Sarah, Lene, and Colton. That's my motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We are now in executive session at 10:25. Right, Jim? Thank you, yes. We are out at 10:45. No action. Claims. Got one on 770.
Oh, yeah, I noticed on that one.
Which one?
770.
Separate trucking. Second page.
So Rob Sepulveda turned in a bill for, revenue lost for all the work that was awarded to, Whipples. He is asking to be paid for lost revenue for 23 and 24 for road grading and snow removal. He's got a 12% interest after 30 days. There are supporting documents if you want to see them.
The snow removal.
Because he had the lower bid.
Again, we do not have to use the lower bid. accept all bids.
Right.
Do you wanna look at it?
No.
Was that from his attorney?
Yes.
Is that Mr. Lee right there?
Yes.
Would you like to explain to the public what this is about, please?
Yes, thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, County Officers, Whipple Trucking did turn in the lowest bid for blading, road maintenance, and for snow removal. And because it was in response to an invitation for bids, then sealed bidding laws apply. And the state law says that the award is to be given to the lowest bidder. The commissioner's hands are in a sense tied because you can't just award projects based on the best interest of the county. You have to use the lowest bid when you use sealed bidding laws. And so to not award this work to Bob Zeplica was a violation of sealed bidding laws. And so we're simply.
But then again, say, okay, his blade was what, $150 an hour? Okay, what if the other guy's blade was 50 horse more than his and could do more work than his, and in turn, even though he has the higher bid per hour, he can get more work done per hour?
Well, that would be something in consideration if that was a selection criteria. But when the invitation for bids went out, it was just the lowest price. It wasn't about the horse of the or the power of a piece of equipment.
No, but in the very end, it's, if it takes 5 hours to pull up a mile versus 12 hours,
Right.
that's the lowest bid.
If that were part of the criteria, Mr. Chairman, but it wasn't in this case. You may know, I'll be honest, I don't know the difference in the motor graders in terms of the size and the amount of time that it takes. And if there were a difference, that would be something to consider at the onset. But we don't have that discretion in this case because the only criteria were the lowest bid.
Sarah, you wanna help us on that?
I can, do some research and get back to you. I guess at this point, I would be able or deny it currently. I would maybe table the claim until next.
So, the only thing is the bid that, or the notice that went out did not say that it has to be the lowest bid. And it says that the
Right.
commissioners reserve the right to accept or reject any or all bids and waive any formality therein.
Right, but the commissioners did accept all the bids. In fact, they accepted Zeplica's bid. And so,
And they also accepted Whipple's bid.
right, they accepted everyone's bid, I believe, that turned in a bid that day. But for these 15 projects, I'm trying to illustrate on the spreadsheet the difference in cost. And the same amount of time that Whipple used would be the time that Zeplica would use too. So if you're saying that it might take him 20 hours to do the work.
Now you're trying to bill after the fact.
Well, I'm not trying to bill, I'm trying to say, Mr. Chairman, that the work should have been awarded to him.
So, as elected officials of the county that we were elected to do, we're supposed to accept the lowest bid, we know the history, and we're supposed to spend more money on a project that still don't get done, or we go over here to this next guy and get this project done with half the time and half the money. But we're supposed to go to the lowest bid when we know the history of the person?
Well, Commissioner, when you send out the invitation for bids, you specify the criteria, you know? So,
Until I'm proven wrong, we do not have to accept the lowest bid for a
Well,
project.
can I show you what the statute says?
You can show our attorney.
Okay.
He had that bid. And he had it all summer. How much did he get done? I didn't live out there, Bill. How much did he get done that summer?
Mile, was it a mile?
And he had a time limit. And the time limit was up.
What was it, September or November?
You guys moved it all the way to,
No, but what was the first time limit though?
The first one, I believe, if I remember right, was the end of September, and then you extended it.
To December.
He doesn't have to defend that.
Do you want to ask Rob about that? About the mile?
how much did you get done?
We probably a mile.
And I mean, that one time, I mean, could use moisture, and we were working with you on that.
Right.
And that one day we had that, it was that snow, and it was on a Friday, I called you, I said, Bob, you had curb and gutter, I said, throw that on there, that's free moisture. Yep, well, I might be going rapid, and never got done.
No.
Oh,
Rod?
may I? That was prior to you accepting his bid. You still accepted his bid after that incident. So that incident has no bearing on, you accepted his bid after that project took place.
Well, you accepted his bid on April 6th at the meeting.
Mhm. And then it got, because
I would table this until the next meeting or the 22nd. Because otherwise there's gonna be argument. It'd be nice to do some research.
I have a motion to table this until March 22nd,
May.
or May. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Deny.
Motion carried.
Thank you for your time.
I deny it.
I'm sorry, who made the motions on it?
Dave.
And second?
We're still on claims.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to accept claims except the trucking for $238,265.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Old and new business.
May I?
Mhm.
In January, the commissioners purchased $310,750 of gravel from Whipple Trucking. That has not been invoiced to this date. Has not been taken off of the budget or anything like that. Is that still in the works, or are we just waiting for an invoice from Whipple Trucking,
Waiting for the gravel
like to be hauled?
to be made.
So it's not made yet?
Not to my knowledge.
So just so you guys, are you taking into account that money coming out of this year's budget? Is that still
Yes.
plans on coming out?
Yes.
Okay. That would drop your budget down to $368,000 remaining for the rest of the year. Instead of having used 35% of your budget, that would change you over to only 35% remaining of your budget for the year. I'm just making sure you guys are accounting for that. The second thing is, with your transfer of 400,000 and a negative balance of 137,827, that actually is only 262,000 in your account to fund that $679,000 budget. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. That's only
You're not taking into account the revenue.
The
that's
revenue,
gonna
no,
come
but
in.
I don't think we're gonna get $500,000 worth of revenue coming in, are we?
It says 635,000.
To come
That's
in?
what the budget says.
That's what it's projected as.
Oh, okay. Good.
Without using taxpayer money.
Okay. Yes, the only other question I had was, I'm following the money and everything. Could I ask who Kevin Curtis's attorney is that the county's paying for? And whether we're gonna keep paying for him now that he's going on to further trial,
I have no, it's first I've heard
that the county's paying for it?
that he's gone on for more trials, so in response, I'm gonna go no comment.
Is it public knowledge to be able to know who his attorney is that we're paying for? Cause I
No
wanna
comment at
follow
this
in the
time.
billing.
No comment at this time.
Okay. That's basically all I have for now. Thank you for allowing me some time.
Anybody else, old new business? Executive session, personnel.
I'll make a motion for executive session for personnel.
With the commissioners and Kevin Curtis.
And that's 1-5-2, parentheses 1.
That's my motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
I did.
Motion carried. We're back in executive session at 10:59.
I should have added Jason Irwin, the sheriff, on there. I don't know if you wanna, how you wanna do that.
Oh, for the executive session?
Excuse me. So you rescind the motion?
No. You ready, Tim?
Go for it, thank you.
Okay, we are
Plus,
back
I
in
needed
session.
to have added Jason Irwin onto executive
I'm sorry,
session.
what?
I needed to have added the sheriff onto executive session.
Okay.
That is the action, and adding Jason to the executive session.
Let me get to
Jolene, her claim. She here?
Do I get her? Yeah. We added it when we approved the agenda.
Oh,
Or
okay, alright,
you
jeez.
guys approved the agenda, I should say.
Freaking Susan. What is that, executive session for that?
You guys want to initial authorities?
Okay.
Let's join this, you know.
Oh, I can see that.
You just passed it.
Hmm?
You just passed it. I believe it's.
Way back.
Yeah. No, she's at 22. She was at 19, that was 22.
Her salary and
55.
it does have a
Jolene, what's your hourly wage right now?
Jeez, I just looked it up too.
You should know on top of your head.
I should. 50,960.
Your hourly wage?
Oh. So, whoops, wrong button. 50 minus 60 divided by 20, 80, 24.50. Oh, no problem.
That's what I'm coming up with. 30? No, oh God, no, not that one.
Hey,
Yeah.
I wasn't listening, but
Yeah.
You heard that, didn't you?
I did.
That's how Paul hears things. Otherwise he's deaf.
What did you come up with?
30 an hour.
30 an hour.
It's kind of what we did with you, wasn't it? When you had to
Yeah.
make up.
Wrong with that.
What do we call this? Additional help or
Yeah, for additional job duties or.
How do we put that?
I don't remember.
Tutoring.
I would
Would
just
that
say
be
for
close?
additional,
What's that?
for added job
Tutoring?
duties.
Well, yeah.
Why don't I just put assistants, auditor assistants? That's what she did.
Okay, I'll make a motion to pay Jolene for auditor's assistance, AKA tutoring, from January, is that about January?
No.
Well,
September
no,
to February is what she
Okay,
said.
September to
She
February.
was there.
Okay, so from September to
The
February.
biggest burden was probably January, well, into December.
December, yeah.
Okay, October was rough. From September 2023 to March of February 2024. 150 hours at $30 an hour comes up to $4,500.
That's your motion?
That's my motion, to pay Jolene for auditor tutoring / assistance.
Second.
I have a motion, Bill seconded. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Is that clear enough, please?
Motion carried.
I mean, where are we paying this out of? Auditors? Wages or?
You do that for
Why
now.
don't you do professional services? Otherwise it'll mess up. I don't know how you'll do it out of, well, I don't know how you'll do it on your W-2. Well, let's figure that out later.
You're gonna have, either way, we're gonna have to add it into my wages. And you could do, and I don't know if you ever found out from Alta, if you could do another payroll check so that the taxes are taken out, or you just pay me the 3,000, but we're gonna have to add it into my wages, and then I'll have to pay taxes on that.
If we pay it out of professional fees, I don't think it'll let me take the taxes out of it.
No, that doesn't, I'm gonna have to claim it at the end of the year.
Yeah. So
It'll have
how,
to be added into the W-2.
right,
think there's a line item on Ultra where you can put, well, we can figure that
And
out.
if there are other wages or other
The other,
compensation at the bottom.
yeah, just make sure you take
It'll be
the,
added there. But I'll have-
But then it just won't take the
But
tax.
where I do single instead of merit, I have the math taken out and it should be enough on my part to cover
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Without having to pay additional taxes on top.
You want to figure it out and we'll clarify it next meeting?
we don't have to. It's up to
No,
them.
that's, this is year in my W-2, so I think it's going to.
Has everything then?
I thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
I make a
Third.
motion, I make a
Oh,
motion
yeah.
to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion, or the motion, meeting is now adjourned at 11:24.
Gee, we're done before noon.
Two meetings.
2 meetings,
I
yeah.
can't hear you, I can jump all over you. Stop screaming at me.
I don't know if you guys have ready, but we're having to. Everybody else back there.
I got seat cover.
I was waiting to see what the offer was.
Somebody else can do it.
Cause I had a really bad.
Oh, yeah. I don't even look at them anymore. They're on there. It's nice. Yeah. Yeah. See you, Jeff.
At the end of my day.